This is Onkaparinga Gorge, a wonderful nature reserve in South Australia. In fact, I was here last weekend to do this same video, but then I realized I had legitimately no information and could not make it. So here we are back again next weekend to record this video. As you can see, it is very foggy and actually a lot worse conditions than it was last time. Droughts and floods are both natural cycles and important at that Australia goes through almost annually. The severity of the hot and dry seasons in Australia has been increased so much so by climate change that a whole 8 of the top 10 of Australia's hottest years have occurred since 2005. The increase in greenhouse gases in the sky and in the atmosphere due to climate change has not only introduced melting ice caps, very much risking the lives of many islanders up in the north, but it has also increased the severity of weather events such as droughts and floods. If we continue to do nothing about this problem, the natural places such as this may be irreparably damaged due to increases in drastic weather events. Floods could tear apart gorges like this all across the country, and droughts could leave the animals in here starved and dead. Being in this land for thousands and thousands of years, Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders have definitely found their own ways of coping with these different changes in season throughout the year.
Hello. James is disembodied floating talking head here, hopefully. Just here to let you know that what I am talking about in terms of the changes in seasons and stuff here is in reference to how some Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders, they would track and measure their times of the year and stuff like wet seasons and hot seasons and breeding seasons for some animals. All things that would help them survive for as long as they did on this continent. Okay, you can get back to the video now, and hopefully this works. Yeah.
So, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people, they would migrate to different climates depending on the time of year it was, just to make sure that they get this most out of where they're living. So what can we do to help all of these problems that we are facing with the floods and the droughts? Well, we've already found a start in what has basically become well known now as just standard climate change solutions, such as switching to renewable energy and to biodegradable resources as well, just to keep sure that gases and fumes from places such as landfills and from cars and other gas emitting sources doesn't go into our atmosphere and create more problems. These floods and these droughts may become so severe that we have months or even years where our water safety is at risk, not just in our thirst, but also in our flood. If you were to travel just a few kilometers upstream in the Onkaparinga River, which we have here, you would reach Mount Bold Reservoir, a reservoir that provides about 40% of South Australian households with fresh water. The introduction of this reservoir, of course, has impacted the river and its natural flow cycles. But to combat that, SA Water, as well as other environmental agencies, have worked together to incorporate the natural flow system into an artificial flow system that comes from the gates of the dam. These flows are introduced in seasons such as they replicate what they took away. Now, instead of having the natural flows, we get our water, but we also incorporate this natural ecosystem and allow it to thrive in the ways that it once was. So like Mount Bald Reservoir and the introduction of the flow system that we now know in this river, maybe we too can incorporate things that we already know into cooperating with nature in a way that we can continue to live in harmony with both all of our luxuries that we've experienced, but with all the nature around us. This place, Onkaparinga Gorge, this place has been running naturally for thousands of years, literal millennia. And if we weren't to do anything about this current climate crisis, the rising water levels and rising droughts in these sorts of places could irreparably damage what we have here as such a natural and pristine location. Beautiful places like this may not exist in the future if we continue on the path that we're going. So are we going to fix it? Or are we just going to keep on going the way we are?